Loachers, me and Downtown Rhonda are going to bring you Guns of the Philippines. And as always, we made sure that all firearms are unloaded and rendered safe in the use of this video. Remember, gun safety starts with you, always. All right? And
as always, this video is certified Loachified.
all right, Loachers, that's right. I'm all bundled up because I'm fresh off a trip to Florida to visit my brother and sister over the holiday weekend, or week, actually. I was there for almost 2 weeks. But it's cold here in Washington. Lamig! See how I added that? Lamig. Pretty sure nobody knows what that means, including me. But anyway, let's get into some history here about ARMSCOR and Rock Island. ARMSCOR started way back in 1905, and that's when they were established in the Philippines under the name of Bingham and Company. They did a lot of trading, clothing, ammunition, firearms, stuff like that. A guy named Don Celso Duason bought the company at the start of 1952, World War II. And he helped rebuild post-war Philippines by getting the first firearms manufacturing license from the government. In the 60s, his son, Bolo, had a strong interest in the business, and he was getting groomed to lead the company. And his two brothers, Carlos Butch and Severo Concoy, took interest in the business as well. And the ARMSCOR brand that the world knows now didn't come into existence until about 1980. They were reorganized and renamed Arms Corporation of the Philippines, hence ARMSCOR. In 1985, ARMSCOR opened up its first U.S. office in Pahrump, Nevada. And little time after that, acquired the Rock Island Armory brand. And, is a leading manufacturer of the 1911s. They're still building now. Again, the roots date back to 1905. And they build an amazing product with a heart that started in the Philippines. And obviously that being near and dear to me because I'm Filipino. And, my dad had a love of the 1911s. So, a little bit of sentiment goes on with that. So we're going to get into the pistols themselves a little bit, and hopefully we'll get some help from Downtown Rhonda, and we might learn a little bit of Filipino or Tagalog on the way. I can't promise you I know what I'm talking about, whether it be the pistols or Tagalog, but you know this about Loach. Stay tuned. Babae, bibigyan ng barel. Aray! Gago. Papakyor bibig. Daldal! Alright, gangsters, first of all, I want to thank Downtown Rhonda for helping me out by presenting me these beautiful firearms so I can walk you through them. She's always great to have around to help. Let's get into it, shall we? This is my Rock Island / ARMSCOR Ultra CS in 45. Okay? Once again, magazine empty, action, lock back, nothing chambered, nothing up my sleeve. All right, now these beautiful guys, they MSRP'd about $730. All right, and you know, yeah, you could spend more, but why would you? These are very, very affordable in light of the $1,000 and up counterparts on the market. This guy for $730, again, commander size, is a 7-round mag. Okay, has a beveled magazine well. Okay, to help you with those tactical reloads. Helps guide that magazine home. Right. It's got the G10 grips on it, as you can see there. Beautiful checkering and finish on them. Kind of a grayish black granite type color on there, and they feel really good. The serrations are, you know, the stippling on it is sharp, but not painfully sharp like sandpaper. It's got the relief cut for the mag release, right? Extended beaver tail safety with a memory group. A skeletonized lightweight trigger. Alright, extended safety. Extended slide release. Alright, fiber optic front sight. Low profile combat sights in the rear that don't snag. And that skeletonized adjustable trigger that we all love. Okay. I gotta tell you, I broke it in properly with ball ammo, and I carry the critical defense loads in it for, you know, everyday purposes. At the range, this thing treated me incredibly well. The trigger pull on it, out of the box, was pretty great. I just gave it a couple of twists to take up a little bit more travel, and the trigger on it is super crisp. Okay, it's got about a 4 to 6 pound trigger from the factory. I just wanted a little bit more, but it was perfectly fine out of the box. Okay, it digested everything flawlessly without malfunction. I'm not going to say that it won't ever malfunction, you know, as all machines are capable of, but I feel that this thing is super reliable, and it was very, very accurate, and recoil was incredibly manageable. As you know, with a 45 ACP, it's just more of a push than it is a snap in this size. Okay, the dimensions on this thing, it's 7.3 inches long. Right, the width on it is 1.3 inches wide. Okay, and the height is 5.1. So I mean, it's pretty packable. A little bit larger for me. I'm a little guy, so I mean, as far as, you know, packing this thing around, you know, I'd feel it. But for home defense, outside the waistband carry, whatever application you have for it, this thing really just does the job very well, and the fit and finish on it is just beautiful. I like the fact that it's got the little tiny logo on the slide right next to the government style Series 70 serrations on the slide. Very, very GI, but better kind of look. GI / race / combat kind of pistol. It is just really one of my favorites. So I highly recommend it. Again, the Rock Island Ultra CS, commander size. Nicely done, guys. Loachers, we're going to take a break in the action with Downtown Rhonda, and we're going to learn the speak of the Philippines. All right, so there are 4 letters that are very important in the Filipino language, right? That is the V, the B, the F, and the P. What I mean by that is sometimes the V is pronounced like a B and vice versa. The F is sometimes pronounced like a P and vice versa. Let me give you an example. My love for you is longer than a telephone pole.
Patos!
Babae, bibigay ng barel! Matigas ng ulog mo! Once again, Downtown Rhonda, thank you for the assistance in delivering the item for display. All right, I'm really excited about this one, guys. Okay, so the next one is my Rock Island / ARMSCOR BBR 3.10. That's right, the BBR 3.10. So, without further ado, Matanda. Okay, again, the CS Ultra commander size. Hiding behind it is the BBR 3.10 and 45 ACP. All right, let's make sure nothing's up my sleeve. Empty mag. Empty chamber. Nothing up my sleeve. All right. This one, let me give you some dimensions on this one. It's a 3-inch barrel, okay, and the length of it is 3.1. Okay, it's a little guy, right? And the height is 4.5. So, you know, in comparison, it's a baby brother right there. Okay, now the magazine itself is a 10-rounder. That's right, it's a 10-rounder. And so it does make it a little bit thicker. I mean, it's a chunky monkey in comparison to the Ultra CS, as you can see. Okay? Give you a little side-by-side comparison. So it's a little bit chunkier there. Okay. This thing is, again, awesome. I love it. I've run the heck out of it. Broke it in, again, with the ball ammo, carrying the critical defense, hollow points, and it functioned flawlessly. Fed everything. Very accurate at, you know, defensive distances. And it is just really, it's a little bit of a handful. You know, a lot more than, say, the commander or officers or the regular government size. This is, you know, it's smaller than the officer's class pistol. You'll notice it looks a little bit different than what you'd see on the website or what you see on, you know, Guns List, Arms List, Gun Broker, wherever you shop. We'll get into that in just a second. But it's got nice serrations on the slide. Extended beaver tail safety, lightweight skeletonized hammer, skeletonized trigger, adjustable, just like the big brother, the Ultra CS that you saw just a short time ago. Okay, so you can take up the slack there. It's got all the extended bells and whistles. This one does not have a fiber optic front sight. Just has a regular blade front sight, but it has the adjustable low profile, no snag combat sights in the rear. This thing is tiny but thick. Okay, tiny but thick, kind of like me. I'm tiny but thick. Not my bayag. Come on, you guys, get it out of the ditch. Stay in your lane. You'll notice that it's actually ported. Okay, those are actually ports up front, and they are functional. You can see the holes in the barrel that line up with the port in the slide. It really does help reduce any type of muzzle rise, which you're going to feel on a gun this size. Okay, so it makes it that much more controllable. It's not an all-day shooter, but definitely, if this is something you're going to carry for defense, it's right there, perfect size, great capacity with the 10-round magazine plus one in the pipe. It's great. You'll feel it, right, just because of the thickness, but it's definitely something you can overcome if you've got it in the proper holster. Okay. I definitely wanted to make sure you guys understood why this thing looks different. Okay. I don't know if you guys recall back in the day, Para-Ordnance made the P10 and the Warthog. And those were great pistols, and that was the entry into the high-capacity 45 market back in the day. So I did some fiddling around because the pistol really mimics the size and dimensions of the Para-Ordnance. Went and got me the Hogue wraparound grips, okay, as you can see there. It did come with the G10 grips, like the Ultra CS, which were beautiful. But in shooting it, I wanted a little bit more cushion for the push-in. And these Hogue wraparound grips work perfect. And I only had to do a little bit of modification to the holes for the screws. Just hogged them out a little bit, just so they'd line up a little bit. And I used the stock grip screws, and they wrap around perfectly. Super nice. As well, the Para-Ordnance P10 magazine floor plates with the extended finger rest, the pinky rest there, really gave me a better purchase on the pistol. I was able to get my pinky on there, because before it just had that kind of a flush plate, floor plate on the magazine. That little finger rest right there made all the difference in the world. You'll also notice that it's got a light laser combo in there, right there. So this is the Streamlight Tlr-6. This particular Tlr-6 was designed for 1911s without the accessory rail, okay, on the underside of the frame, underneath the barrel and slide assembly. You got those Picatinis, those little rails where you hang all your Bluetooth speakers and pinwheels and stuff like that. This particular pistol does not come railed up, but by taking a quote-unquote kind of universal Tlr-6 from Streamlight for non-railed 1911s, I was able to make this fit. What I mean by make it fit, there's some additional plastic that comes stock on it, which I cut off. You can see where I cut it, right? Because it was too long for the trigger guard. So by cutting that additional plastic off right there, I was able to get the two halves of the light laser combo to fit onto the pistol. So I've got this great package right here. It's a 10+1, cocked and locked. Nice little 3-inch barrel with a light laser combo on it, and it's ported, so you can have fun with it at the range practicing. And it's practical if you're carrying it for defense, because you're going to be able to get down there and get that additional shot onto your target very quickly. And plus, with the light, you'll be able to see at night. If you're getting old, you notice one of the first things to go. And the laser. So it's super cool, super packable, and I love it. MSRP on this guy is $700. Again, under a G-ball, under a 1K, under 1,000, you get all this goodness, okay? And I love it because it's super tiny. Again, here's the comparison between the two, rear sight to rear sight. No Alec Baldwin moment there, okay? But you can just see how much smaller it is. Okay, so either way, you're not going to lose. Either way, you're not out a grand or more. Either way, you get a whole lot of pistol for the price. They are reliable, they are accurate, and they are beautiful. Okay, for any of you 1911 fans out there, this is a really good choice, guys. So check them out. Go to the website, shop online for them, but you can't go wrong. Loach recommends. Both are chambered in 45 ACP. Okay, as any true 1911 would be, right? You know, I highly recommend breaking in any 1911 properly, and that's running some ball ammo through it. But for carry purposes, I carry, of course, critical defense in 45 ACP. As you can see, that's kind of a big fat bullet there, big honking delicious 45 ACP. Sarap! Mabigat! Yeah. It's typically a 240 grain or 245 grain bullet traveling at 850 feet per second. For those of you guys that, you know, love the plus P stuff, I mean, it doesn't say that you can't run it, but I don't recommend running a steady diet of it. You know, practice a couple of times with your carry ammunition in it, but definitely if it's something you're going to rock on a regular basis, you're going to want to make sure that you stay on top of not only the 1911 from Rock Island ARMSCOR, but any 1911, you know, whether it be the super high expensive ones or the super cheap ones, whatever the case may be, make sure you stay on top of that recoil spring, and you might want to up it, put in, you know, a stiffer recoil spring, just to take that added pressure, okay? You don't want to beat your guns up, but you definitely want to practice with them. And part of gun ownership is making sure you maintain them properly. So every time you get in there and you clean after the range, inspect, and know the limitations of your firearm. Not that the Rock Island ARMSCOR 1911s aren't incredibly well built, but like I said, continued abuse could cause failure, okay? And that just makes sense in any firearm that you own. All right, Loachers? Loachers, truth be told, you could spend a whole lot more money on some of the other manufacturers, okay? But you can also save some money and get these beautiful, well-designed, fully flawless and functional pistols for right around the 800, 750 MSRP, okay, with all the bells and whistles on them, okay, just like the other big guys. Okay, so if you want to save some money, for example, if you're kalipot, mabigat ng puwet! Done. All right, Loachers. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, maybe, if you didn't like it, down below. Questions and comments. Do me a favor, subscribe, share the link if it made it giggle. All right? Other than that, a lot of Loach love, a lot of Loach laughter. Here we go again.